Yo, what's up? What's up? This is Ash, your neighborhood ninja, and I'm here, like always, joined by Manny Fresh
Yay, yay.
and KFT.
Órale, Holmes.
Hey, man, did you guys check out that Anderson Silva boxing match?
I did.
No, I didn't get a chance to. When was it?
In the Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, it wasn't. Was it? Fuck yeah! It's because it was like at fucking 2 p.m. and shit.
Yeah.
What day though? Was it Saturday?
Yeah, it was Saturday. And Floyd Mayweather was the main event. You believe that shit? Nobody even knew.
Oh wow.
Ain't that crazy? Anderson is
Well, he didn't
Floyd.
he didn't need to let nobody know. He got all the millions from all that oil over there.
Exactly.
He didn't care about no pay-per-view points.
Yeah, it was a pay-per-view.
Yeah, they didn't care about no pay-per-view draws, bro. Them kings over there and them princes, all that shit. Just like when they have the WWE, bro. They don't care about the WWE pay-per-view numbers. They care about who's gonna be there at the venue, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know what though?
But how'd it go?
They were both really impressive. Seriously, like Anderson looked fucking great, and Mayweather was Mayweather. It was good shit. I enjoyed both of them.
Who did Mayweather fight?
One of his old training partners.
Check it out, bro. I don't know if it's old, because I mean, I'm not into boxing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just seen something on Facebook or Instagram that Canelo's fighting Triple G.
Yeah.
Again for the third time in September.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Independence Day. Yeah, Mexican Independence Day. So yeah. I knew he wasn't. It'd be stupid for him to fight that light heavyweight again, man. I mean, honestly,
good thing.
Yeah, it would be stupid. Just stick into your 4 weight classes that you're the king of.
Yeah.
And keep your crown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he shouldn't go up no more. I think he's good where he's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, man. It definitely is. I think he's gonna get Triple G this time.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I think he might drop him if he can stay with that weight and be in the weight class, man. I think he'll drop him.
Fuck yeah.
To me, besides Mayweather, of course, out of everyone, if you want to claim that they actually beat Canelo, I think Triple G is the closest one.
Yeah, but you remember how long ago that was, though? That was how many years ago now? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So
16, right?
So you lose a step. You know what I'm saying? As you age, brother.
Canelo's been upgrading in Triple G.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I think, man. I think Triple G might try to outbox him. But I guarantee you, man, when Canelo connects, he's gonna feel it. He's gonna rock him.
Well, you know how Triple G is saying I like it, and you know he's gonna come for it, the big drama show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's gonna be good shit. But anyways, guys, speaking of fighting, man, today's guest, she's a fighter herself. You know what I mean? MMA fighter, Mitzi the Mauler Merry.
All right, young lady. My first question is, I watched the interview that you did with another young lady, and it was like a podcast, I want to say, where both of you guys were on your computers from home, and it was about an hour long. You know, I found that one pretty interesting. You talked a little bit about everything, basically. I mean,
I think we were, it was with Carrie Stiller in the girls' corner.
Yeah. And you talked about vitamins, you talked about supplements, you talked about your workout regimen. I mean, that was really cool. I was like, wow, man, like, you crossed a lot of space in just a little bit of time.
Oh, yeah, we definitely went over everything. It was definitely a lot. I thought we were kind of going down rabbit holes, too, just a little bit, but that's kind of,
it happens.
Connect and click with people. You just it just happens. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the same lady with us. You know what I mean? Like, we just, we're just us. You know what I'm saying? And our listeners, they're a lot like us. You know what I'm saying? They just really interested in learning a little bit more about you, and what you got going on and stuff. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself in your own words. Yeah.
Oh, in my own words. Okay. Well, I'm a single mom.
Okay.
I'm 34 years old, so I have been training in martial arts since I was 19. And I started at Oklahoma State University. And yeah, I was actually playing rugby for OSU that freshman year. The girls recruited me when I was going to go sign up for like a kickboxing class. They offer them at the Colvin Center there at OSU. So I got recruited from the rugby girls, and that first semester I was like, okay, I loved it, but I wanted to do some more stuff. So I was playing rugby, and I started learning martial arts that next semester. So in like 2007, January of 2007 is when I first started martial arts, and it was just a kickboxing class. I was under Doug Stokes. He was my first MMA coach. He got me started with the kickboxing class 2 weeks in, and he liked what he saw, and he asked me, would you ever be interested in going to the more advanced classes, which was we had Muay Thai and we had MMA. And I was like, okay, yeah, why not? Like that sounds like a lot of fun. And then, there's a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu in there, but nothing was like official, like we weren't getting belted or anything like that. It was just like college students going in there. Like I had a lot of wrestlers. I had some OSU wrestlers come in like after they were done with wrestling for OSU, and other guys that just they wrestled in school, in high school, but didn't pursue it in college. I had a friend that he wrestled at OU, and he was actually, we both were fought together on my very first fight card, and it was his very first fight too. Yeah, but I had a lot of wrestlers, so I always had to learn from a defensive.
Isn't Oklahoma considered one of the capitals of collegiate wrestling?
Yeah, and like OSU is like one of the very best teams, like with John Smith. John Smith's definitely one of the best coaches out there. But
so you definitely have some good people to roll around with then.
Right, and like these are like young college boys, and I'm I'm the same age at the time, but I'm just like a bigger, stronger girl, not like the sorority girls. I really enjoyed the full contact of like rugby, so that's what attracted me to wanting to pursue martial arts. And then also just like wanting to know self-defense and be able to protect myself. I've had two stalkers before in the gym. So it's like, yeah, when I was 18, for real, like it's crazy because it was one of my friends and we were working out at our normal like small town gym, and there's a guy who, I guess they'd been watching the film, like the owners, they brought us in and everything and like sat down with us and talked to us. And like, I knew this guy had been watching me because he had followed me to my work at the coffee shop. Like, yeah, it was, yeah. He even had a ankle monitor on. So like he was clearly a predator of some sort, but I would always catch him checking me out. And so like there was an old guy at the gym who taught me how to like start boxing, like just to hit the bag, and just, I think it was just kind of to be more intimidating versus like I'm a weak, target. To be like, hey, I'm aware of you and you need to watch out because I will fight you. Like I'm not one of those. I'm not gonna just cower to somebody. So, yeah. It was instilled within me. Like I was 18, so that was before I went to college. But yeah, it started off in 2007, going after after it, and they asked me after a month of training in the more advanced classes if I ever wanted to step in the cage. So I said yes, because I am a believer of you gotta try it at least one time to be your own judge of if you like it or not. Like I do not believe in just because somebody tells me, oh, you're not gonna like it. Like, they don't know me. You don't know me. I don't know me. I might like it. I might not. So it's all about experience for me. And I just fell in love. And it's like honestly the furthest thing from like what I was going to college for. I was going for studio art and theater. So I got a whole bunch of college scholarships for my studio art. So like I could draw portraits or paint a portrait. Like that was my area of concentration. So that's what I went to college for. And then I fell in love with martial arts and fighting. So like I dropped out from pursuing that to chase like the health promotions aspects of like I just wanted to own my own gym, be able to be a nutritionist, like go after that. Since I was training I wanted to be, I didn't know how professional I wanted to be, like what levels I wanted to go. I just know I wanted to pursue it.
So back, I got a question about the training.
Yes.
So as far as like full contact MMA, what was like your favorite thing about it in training when you first started that made you go back? Like, what was that one thing that you found in it that you were like, you know what, I'm digging this?
Dude, honestly, it was like a release. I just kind of like all the tension that's always built up. I've always had high anxiety, dealt with depression, things like that. So I always felt a lot of things on the inside. Whenever I was able to just like, I don't know, punch that bag or hit a combo that was just like, it felt right. Like your body, you feel it in your body. Like everything that was going on in my head would just disappear. And it still does. It's like my therapy, my outlet. So for me, that's what I found. It wasn't like, oh, I want to look good for other people or I'll help them, like it wasn't like that. But
I'm very glad. Spiritual. I'm very glad that you said that about the anxiety and the depression and all that.
Yeah.
Because like I deal with a little bit of that, both of them, I'm sure, other people out there. And honestly, like I've done a little bit of training in MMA here and there. And to be honest, the anxiety part makes it hard for me. Like when you're wrapping your hands, when you see everyone else, when they're tying those gloves up, when you're about to go this round, when you're rolling with this guy, when they say 50%, you know what I'm talking about? So
yeah, no, that's how I felt. Like at first, I was a little nervous, but I was the only girl in there.
Well,
I had only guys, so I'm like, oh crap, and I didn't want them to feel like they needed to baby me or like, I was tough, and like they knew I was, like they knew I played rugby, and I played rugby with the men's team too. So like,
wow.
We played a match against the UCO team. So yes, and that was so much fun. Oh man, yeah. But anyways, back to it. They knew I could take a beating if I had to, or I can hold my own. It was like that. But my dad also beat that into my brain. Like a middle linebacker, mentality. So, I grew up as a tomboy and just challenged always the boys, I guess, and all the sports. I loved that competition. So it was nothing new with martial arts and training with guys.
Do you have any? I'm sorry. I was gonna. Go ahead.
So when you went into MMA, what was your knowledge of it? What did you know of it? Did you know anything? Were you a fan?
Oh my gosh. I only knew probably a few months before I saw my like very first UFC fight. It was Frank Shamrock versus Yeah. No, Frank. Ken Shamrock, excuse me, versus Franklin, Rich Franklin. Yeah. There we go.
Fuck
Sorry.
That fight, yeah. Fuck.
Yeah,
that shit broke my heart.
It was. Oh my gosh, yeah. But that was my very first UFC fight, and like, it was so cool. I'd never seen anything like it. And then I started.
What year was that fight?
Like, the old. Oh gosh, I know it had to have been
2005.
2004.
Yeah. It's 2006. Like, it was my senior year of high school, so I was 2005, 2006. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was when I first saw that fight, and it kind of was like, oh, that's cool. But you know what really got me into it? It was, it's silly, $1 Million Baby.
Oh shit!
The movie. Hey. That got me into wanting
that's like men watching Rocky.
True. Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and she was like the Karate Kid for the girls. Like, so that was, you know, Hilary Swank had my heart from the get-go, you know? Yep. That movie really motivated me. It just kind of like always resonated with me. Just like that internal feeling and the drive in that movie. So like, it was something that, you know, just always set with me. So, yeah, that's where the, like, wanting to learn, like, how to fight or just be able to, like, you know, do something with this body I've been given, you know? Like, I always had, like, body issues. So, like, when I found this fighting martial arts, I realized, I was like, why? Like, I always wondered, why was I made this way? Like, why do I have a 6-foot wingspan? I'm 5'7", like, short little torso. So, like, I always was really self-conscious about my body, and I looked like a boy, you know? I always felt like that. Like, I got bullied and told I was a boy, you know? The boys would bully me, and it was just, it was a lot growing up, you know? You just, and that's where, like, the depression and the anxiety, I tried to commit suicide when I was 13. I'm sorry, I was like 12 turning 13. I was like in that time. It just because of like those feelings of like, I'm unworthy, I'm not good enough. You know, I'm so young, but you know, like, yes, emptiness, just didn't have anyone there to talk to. And you know, it was, I always question like why for so long like that. But when I found this and like, you know, growing up now, the last 13, 14 years, I've had a lot of time to reflect on the person that I was like as a child and like what made me think that I was unworthy, like why. I look at what I am now. I have to have these long arms. I gotta have it for that reach. That's what helps me. And you know, like I can block. I have a short torso, so guess what? It makes it so much easier for me to block those punches. Shots. Everything, like everything correlates back to like those insecurities. But it's those little demons telling you, you know, you're not good enough. But I knew exactly what I was built for. Like, and now I can say that, and so it's like. That confidence now, oh my gosh, I knew what I was made to do. So awesome. It's a great feeling, like when you discover that. So,
when you find this. That's what, yeah.
You know what? I think because I used to think like that too, but I think pro wrestling helps out with that because you see the gimmicks and the characters in pro wrestling where it's like everything's acceptable and everything works.
Yeah.
We're not all the same. We all look different. We all this, we all that. So I've always loved that about pro wrestling.
See, I do like that, and I can respect that, like, as an entertainer because of, heck, like I said, I went to college for studio art and theater. I wanted to go do that. Like, my dad wanted me to go be a total diva. Like, he absolutely wanted me to do that. I was raised up on WCW and WWE.
Nice.
You know,
shit.
Like, yeah.
Well,
so, and it was not fake in our house.
Exactly.
Not fake.
It's not fake. It's still not fake.
It's real, goddammit.
Right. It is right. Yeah.
You must have heard the Mr. Sabu one.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitzi.
What?
Well, Manny over here, he's a professional wrestler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
What is
done
your
it for
name in the ring? Manny
Alcatraz. Alcatraz 187. The Juggernaut Alcatraz 187. You can look me up on YouTube. Yep, you can look. Yeah, definitely. I got some promos. I got a few matches on there. And that's where I met the boys, actually, was the Gathering of the Juggalos in Oklahoma when I got a chance to wrestle my first time for JCW. And it was a privilege, you know what I mean? And the crowd, the first night, I want to say I wrestled in front of about 500-600 people, and then the second night, we wrestled. I wrestled in front of about, I want to say 12 to 15. We had 12 to 1500 people. It was all, and then for them to love the character and just be chanting Alcatraz, Alcatraz, you know what I mean? I mean, it was really awesome.
It's awesome. It is a great feeling, dude. It really is.
And that's where I was going to ask you was a while ago. So are you an only child?
No, I have 2 older sisters.
Okay.
I'm the baby. Okay. Yeah, I'm the baby.
You're the baby, so you were the runt, and you were the one that had you had to step up to the plate.
That is a true statement. No, like for real, I am the true runt because both my sisters are like 6 foot, and like all the women on my dad's side of the family are over 6 foot, and I have a 6 foot wingspan.
Wow.
Funny story to that. Dude, they straight up said, they're like, well, yeah, you should have been 6 foot if you wouldn't have hit your head on the wall when you were younger. Yeah, it compressed my spine when I was a kid. So I have been 5'7" since I was 10.
Oh, wow.
No, they were eating all the food and not leaving you anything. That's what happened.
Yeah, no,
But I saw that during your fight. I saw that during your fight, and they had talked about it. You know what I mean? They had talked about your wingspan and that your reach. I can't, but the one fight that I seen was they only showed 2 rounds. They showed the full first round, and they showed the second round. And I want to say it was a girl named Natasha, maybe. I might be mistaken.
Erica Torres.
Erica. No, this was a blonde-haired girl.
Blonde?
What was the name?
Chelsea Chandler on the Invicta fight, right?
There you go. Yeah. They only showed the 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And her she wasn't listening to her corner at all. Well, of course, I'm
Mitzi
like.
Wasn't?
No. The other girl. The other girl. Because Missy had her.
No. Is it like my very first one? Was I in like a pink shirt? Like that might have been my very first fight ever. Because it was Vanessa Bolivar.
It might have been. I'm not too sure.
So. She was the only blonde I've ever She was the true blonde I've ever fought.
Yeah.
The others were,
she was
black hair.
She was too. Yep. She was blonde haired, and her coach kept yelling at her to not give you her back, did not let you take her back, and you kept. You know what I mean? And then she thought when she got you to the ground that it was a wrap, and then you flipped it on her.
Pop up.
And then, yeah. So that's why I was I said, that's what's up, you know what I mean? I was like,
oh, dang.
Because go ahead.
No, you go.
That camera angle is from and I'm assuming it was one of her coaches because all you could hear is her coach yelling, knee her, and watch out for the elbows because you were elbowing this chick when you were in the clinch, and then you start throwing the knees, and they were telling her to throw the knees, you were throwing the knees, and them elbows were some bangers, man. That's why I was like, damn, this girl we were about to interview can throw them things, man. She's got them hands. You know what I'm saying? That's
awesome. That was my first. Yeah, that was my very first fight.
Awesome, man. You did
that was
great.
Back in 2008. So that was you got to see what I'm up to now. Like, yeah, I'm a whole nother animal compared to who I was back then.
Now how can we
Yeah.
How can we find some of your newer stuff?
Well, hold on.
You can look on UFC. Okay, sorry.
Hold on. No, my bad. It's because I want to say something before. Just talking about what you're saying right now goes with it. So when I first seen you, I was there at that gym here in Enid for like
Dylan's gym.
Yeah, with Dylan, and it was like probably the second week you came in, and I was all like, oh shit, that's cool, you know, like this chick, you know what I mean, is trying to learn how to fight. She wants to learn how to throw a punch, and then you started shadow boxing and hitting the bag, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Hell no! I started telling my cousin, like, yo, try to look at her. She's the shit. She's on another level. Like, it's beautiful. Seriously, your shit was beautiful. I loved it.
Well,
I think Ash was thinking he could whoop your ass until he saw you hit the
no, you know what? Yeah.
Was it a punch or was it the kick that scared you? Which one? No.
All of them. The combos were great.
He's like none. The footwork itself.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Seriously, you got to see her in action. You guys got to see her in action. It's a beautiful thing. I was so impressed.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I am a.
Oh no, definitely.
Like I get real, like now I'm more of like an analyzer and assessor of everything. So like I break down, dissect everything that I'm doing. So even with like my footwork, my head movement, just everything. I try to be the most technical with combos and just everything in my approach. Whenever we're sparring, I don't know if you got to watch the sparring or if it was just like, you know, that kickboxing class that we were doing. But everything that I do, I try to have like a mindset of like breaking things down and stripping it away and then just building back. It's I don't know, that's how my brain works when it comes to that. Yeah, it's almost like, well, because I try to be like a chess match too. So it's like I build and build and build because I really want to be like 5 moves ahead of my opponent.
The opponent, that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's a chess match. You know what I mean? When you get the how do I want to say this? The experience that you have. And the do's and the don'ts and how each opponent is different. It's just like wrestling. You know what I mean? Like you use different moves for different people in different ways and stuff. You know what I mean? And so there's different things you can do. And then as you're doing it, you're noticing certain tactics aren't working, certain tactics are working. You know what I mean? So it's just like you said, it's a chess match. You know what I mean? And you try to, like you said, you try to think 4 or 5 moves ahead. You know what I mean? If her head placement keeps going here, I'm going to do this, and that, and then I'm going to catch her with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, not only that, too, set it up.
MMA changes so much. Like the MMA of now compared to the one 10 years ago and the one before or whatever, it's just like a whole different game, like submission, striking, everything. Like, so you got to be that way, or else you just.
Well, and you have to be so well-rounded. Yeah, if you're not well-rounded and you're just a one-dimensional fighter, you're not surviving. And nowadays, because we've got kids that are coming up that are just turning 18, and they're going to be a world champion in just 2-3 years. Just because of they've been doing it since they were 3 years old. Where I had it, like, we didn't have that. Like, we had an old boxing gym, but like I couldn't go do it. I was in school and I was already in my sports, so we didn't do outside sports from that. So I never pursued it until it was available to me when I went to OSU. So that was really the turning point. But if I could have had it when I was 3, darn it.
Yes, but no. Speaking of that, I do remember off of that that interview that I watched that you didn't let us know yet that you are in the music and you sing and you also draw, So I remember all that from that interview. You leaving that out.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, I
very talented.
I think it was the anything you can do, I can do better, like mentality growing up. So it was just like I wanted to do everything that I possibly could just to like be able to do it. And like, you know, my 2 older sisters, it was everything had to be competition with them too. I mean, it was okay. Well, I got to be a better artist. My older sister was the artist. So I've just got to like practice and I've got to work hard. So I like would always put in the extra time to really focus on that. And so like I would get that hyper focus. My sisters aren't necessarily like that. I'm definitely way more like hyper focused with whatever my heart is like on, like whatever it is, that's what all I care about. That's all I think about. It's ridiculous. But that's how I was with that.
I know what you mean about that. I do that a lot with everything, and because of that, my kids don't ask me to help them with school projects anymore because I go like 1,000%, and they're like, "Dad, you're only supposed to be this and that. You went out there and did all that. What are we doing?" You know what I mean? I'm buying shit.
You're like, if we're gonna do it, let's do it right.
Exactly.
We're gonna do it. You know, so I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But it helps. But it helps with your depression. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because as long as you're doing something and you're active and you're focusing on something else, you're not focusing on that depression. Because, like my boys were saying, I wrestled for 17 years. I trained with, and I know you're going to recognize this name from the UFC and from WWF, but as you talked about Ken Shamrock, I trained with Dan the Beast Severin.
Yeah.
From Coldwater, Michigan. Yeah. And
awesome.
he showed us a lot of shoot fighting moves because he didn't have anybody to keep. This is back in 01 when he was still like when he was still doing like off shows, like, you know, he wasn't on UFC anymore, but he was doing off promotions and stuff like that, and he would still need training partners, so he would use me and my boy Monty Brown, and he would use us to roll around with because, you know, we're 6'2", 6'3", you know what I'm saying, and Monty was like 265, 275 of pure muscle, and then here I am of 300 pounds, and you know what I mean, like, so, and he's tossing us around like we're sack of potatoes, you know what I mean? And we're like, damn, this is a strong ass white boy.
Like 1,000 pounds in the ring.
Seriously, man, but it was so cool though, man, because we're rolling around with somebody who was in a super fight, and he had the belt, and he had the big promotion poster in his school and everything, and it just like I says, I mean, it just helped us. So I did that for 17 years, and I did the gathering, and I did a couple shows after that, and then I was in a work-related accident, and that's what took me out of wrestling for now. It's been since 2017. I was hit by a truck walking on a sales lot. A guy hit me, a young mechanic hit me with the F-150, and 2 herniated discs, nerve damage to both legs. But I've come a long way since then, but that's when I really dealt with depression, and I didn't even realize that that's what I was dealing with. You know what I mean? Until I was diagnosed with it by a psychiatrist, and I was just like, you know, machismo and everything. You know, we you know, growing up in the hood, I'm like, man, we don't have depression, man. We man up, You know, you man up. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, no, you know what I mean? Like, this is real. This is something that's real, that even the manliest men go through it, and some people don't know how to deal with it and stuff. So I've had a chance to speak at different things and everything like that with different partners and different like communities and stuff like that. to tell my story, and it's been cool, you know what I mean? But like I said, it helps when you have something to focus on, and you just want to be the best at what you're doing. Like that's when I hooked up with these guys. You know what I'm saying? When they were like, "Hey man, we've been doing this podcast for a while. We'd like for you to come on board." And I was like, "I ain't never really done no podcast, man." I says, I mean, I'm a silly ass dude, but you know what I mean? They were like, "No, Manny, we'd love to have you." I said, "Well, it'd be my honor." And they actually interviewed me first.
Twice.
And yeah, twice.
And you got the recruitment.
And I got the recruitment.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, and so you better watch out, girl. You might be getting recruited next. You know what I'm saying? We always need a female's point of view. You know what I mean? We've been blessed. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been blessed. We've had independent wrestlers, female independent wrestlers from San Antonio that have done a great job, on their interviews and everything, and answered a lot of questions, because we do have a lot of female listeners and stuff that are going through some of the same things that you're going through, and that have, and young girls. The parents got the young girls too that are going through that awkward stage where they don't know what they're supposed to be or how they're supposed to be, or you know what I mean? Like, they have.
It is
go ahead.
confusing now. It's very confusing. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah,
no.
Okay,
and we appreciate it. No, we definitely jump in. And that's why I was just trying to get the background, like, of, I didn't know if you were a single child, so you grew up with, now did you grow up like in the suburbs, or in the ghetto, or in the barrio?
Well, I'm in a small town, like up in the panhandle of Oklahoma.
Okay.
Gosh, I don't know how many people we had when I was growing up. I moved back, like after I went to college. I'm back in my hometown of Woodward, and roughly, I think we've got probably like maybe 10 to 12,000 people in this town. I'm not sure. It keeps growing because there's always the windmills being built, and there's always people moving in and moving out. So you just never know. It's constantly growing. But
hey, that's cool though, man.
Small,
yeah.
Well, 12,000 and 3 Mexicans.
Nah.
12,000.
You know what? Woodward's cool. I like Woodward. I like it. It's
yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought of moving there, but
right.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready to get out of here, but that's just me. Just because I lived here from, I wasn't born here. I was born in Del Rio, but like I moved shortly, like probably a month after I was born. They moved us back up to Woodward and lived there until I graduated high school. I moved to Stillwater, lived there for like 9 years, and then I moved to Cleveland for a little bit. Not Ohio, Oklahoma.
Cleveland.
Yeah, to verify. Yeah, everyone always thinks Ohio, so I have to say, like, yeah.
Manny was like,
I lived there.
I was like, hey.
No, you gotta understand, like, Oklahoma's got like towns like that. Like, I know a dude that lived in Orlando, Oklahoma, and it's like this little shitty ass town.
Yeah. Well, there's a slap out too. So yeah, we've got so many different interesting towns.
What about is it called Miami or is it Miami?
It's Miami, but anyone else they would say Miami.
Right.
It's Miami. It's Miami. Yeah, they always confuse it.
Now, what about your little ones? How many little ones do you have?
I only have my daughter. She's 9. Her name's Jade.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yes, it's just her and I. So we stay pretty busy though. So right now she's in softball. So today they were supposed to have games, but it's been or not today, but like this whole week they've been having rained out softball games. So.
Oh wow!
We are. Yeah,
that's
a lot of rain. I mean, it's good for us. We can't complain. We have cattle and land, so it's you want to keep everything.
We recently got
snow
in Denver.
What?
Yeah, it's
this
weekend in Denver.
I saw that, and that's when the cold front hit.
It went from hot as hell to snow.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, my friend was visiting up there, and she's like, I dressed for 70, 70s, 80s, like, degrees weather, and it's snowing. I was like, oh no. I felt so bad for her. She had to hurry up and go,
looking like Ralphie's little brother.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens, man.
It does.
That's the Midwest, man.
The weather.
You never know, man. In Michigan, it's the same way because I'm up in Michigan, so we can have all 4 seasons in one day.
Right?
Hey, I'm telling you, man, it starts out raining in the morning, then it gets super hot, then it'll get cold, then it might snow, and then it'll be all good the next day. It's like, what the hell just happened, man? But you never know.
you leave with
Definitely.
a coat and a beanie, and you come back in a muscle shirt with a
tan. Exactly. In a tank top.
Just always have your layers. Just be layered, ready to go.
Hell yeah.
Funny.
Speaking of Denver, though, have you ever gone to any of the gyms up there to train? Because I know there's a lot of good ones up there.
No, I have not got to go up there. I would really like to travel soon to go to a couple of different gyms, just cross training. Right. I think it would be great, but unfortunately, gas is a little expensive. I might not be doing that too much. So.
Oh, that's fucking true.
Oh yeah. It's like $5 a gallon up here, man. It's close to it.
Yeah.
We
here.
Oh, go ahead. Well, you need to check back on our older episodes on our channel. When you go to the channel and look at our older episodes, one of the first interviews that we ever had, we were honored to have Show Me Carter. Ash hooked that up, and he was awesome, man. Like that dude was really cool. He was down to earth. He was basically, like Ash said, he was Vanderlei Silva before there was Anderson Silva before there was an Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
He was good, man. He really
that boy was bad.
You know what's crazy about those times?
Yeah, I've seen the fights, but what? Sorry, go.
Like, what's crazy about those times is like those dudes, they didn't have Anderson, they didn't have GSPs, they didn't have Fedors or Vanderleis to look up to. So that just means they just like to fucking fight. You know what I mean? That's what he did. You know what I'm saying?
He told us stories about fighting Marines and shit.
Yeah, that's what was up with him. Like that shit is crazy.
He was
wild stories. I bet. I need to definitely listen to that interview. Okay, I will definitely put it. Shoney Carter's interview.
Shoney Carter's the man. But yeah.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, what about you? Who do you think is like your favorite fighter right now? Who's it? Who do you think?
My favorite fighter right now.
That you think is the best, actually.
The best.
Guy and girl.
That's like now you put me on the spot. You got me on the spot. I've got to think about this for a second. Oh, girl, Valentina.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Valentina, straight up. She nobody Rose comes second, but after that, I'm not impressed with the last fight. But I get her mindset, the plan. I get it. I do, because she already fought that girl and she wrestled her and beat her, so it was like, don't let her wrestle you. So there just could have been a little bit more action, but there was too much respect, shown, she respected the takedown too much, I think, instead of allowing her footwork and her handwork to just open her up.
Let it go. Yeah. She didn't let him. She didn't let it go. You know what I mean? Now, what about guys?
Guys, right now, I just like personally Michael Chandler. Just him and Justin Gaethje is definitely one of my favorites. Just the way they fight, they are just let it all out there. I do love that. Now, I didn't get to see the last fight though, the Justin Gaethje's fight.
That was
good. So he got, but okay, so it was like I heard about it, but I didn't get to see it. So I didn't really get a good judgment on this last fight. But he's definitely one of my favorites. And then
with Gaethje, I actually kind of pretty much followed that dude from the beginning, like when he was nobody, when he was fighting like indies and all that. And he was popping up, on these local shows or whatever. So the first time I saw him in the UFC, it blew my mind. I was like, whoa, they got Gaethje. He finally got signed because he was kicking ass all over Denver.
Was that what it was? WEC?
No, he was. Yeah, he was. What was it? Not Ring of Fire.
LFA.
What was the name? Is that what it was? Yeah, LFA.
He fought for LFA. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and he was champion there for a long time, and finally, I guess they gave him the call or something. But it was weird that if they took him that long to call him up.
Yeah, because I saw like his very first fight was with Michael Johnson in the UFC. Like that was his like welcoming fight. Yeah, that was. I love that. That made me a fan. Like because I saw clips like leading up to that fight because I didn't know who he was. I just I didn't get to follow a lot of those smaller promotions. I only like really watched Bellator or UFC.
Right.
LFA, I did watch a little LFA. Like, well, when I was training after I had my daughter, I started training in Tulsa at Sansu, and my best friend actually, her husband, he fought for LFA a few times on their undercard. Chase McDougal. And he's just like a freaking little ninja. It's crazy. He like does all these like put a weighted vest on and do like rope climbs and then doing backflips and all these things. It's just crazy.
All right. Enough of that shit. It's
LFA.
making me feel lazy.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah, just playing. Not just playing.
Yeah.
You know what though? Me and Ash used to buy like any DVD that was MMA, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And back in the day, they used to sell these big old block DVDs that was like 8 hours of MMA.
It was King of the Cage.
And we actually would sit there and watch every single fight, from beginning to end, no matter how bad it was. We stuck with it and watched it all.
Oh
you know what I'm saying? And then we would finish those and then go hunt more MMA DVDs and VHSs and all that shit. Like we spent so much time watching shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is lots of studying, I guess. I was like, I did that too. Once I had my computer, I was always on it studying. But before that, I didn't have any. I was like, whatever would show up on Spike TV. Yeah. That's what it was. Spike TV back in the day. Yeah.
Spike
TV. That's the only how. Yeah.
I discovered YouTube by looking up fights. And then I came across this website that had all these damn fights, and I was like, I've never seen these. I was like, what is this shit? And I looked it up, and it said YouTube. I was like, what is this YouTube thing? And I'm looking up Vanderlei Silva, and 3 hours later, I watched all.
You're like mind blown. You're like.
I call everyone. Have you heard of YouTube?
Yeah.
You can watch fights and shit there, man.
Funny.
Well, Mitzi, like since you're a women's fighter, I think. The best women's fight ever. I don't know if you ever watched it. And at the time when you were starting up, it's actually when it happened. The Chris Cyborg versus Gina Carano. That's my favorite.
Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, I had just fought my very first fight. I had come back from Lafayette, and I was going over to like my house to pick up my computer, and there's the only way I could, like, I was living with my boyfriend at the time, so he didn't have internet, so I had to go back to my apartment where my sister was living. I was like, I gotta use your internet, and so I had to go and watch it and like pick up my mail, but I had to watch it. I loved it. It was awesome.
That's probably the best women's fight ever.
Yeah, I
loved it. It was definitely,
it's the one that
it was so wild and back and forth too. And it's like, oh my gosh, Gina had Cyborg mounted. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's 2 times she was on top of her, but cyborg just hit so hard. Yeah. So Gina unfortunately couldn't handle that power, but it was definitely one of the best. I had actually started training, and clearly I fought before I ever knew who Gina Carano was.
Right.
And then I got told, hey, you need to watch her. And then the month of my fight, like during my camp, I just watched her fight, and I was like, oh man, I like this girl. It was kind of, that's when I was introduced to her. So I was wanting Gina to win, but I was like, man, I have to respect like the technique and the power of Cyborg though. Like that's just so impressive, to be a woman definitely. And be able to dominate like that. So impressive, like Amazon woman.
For my nerd homies out there, Gina Carano is known in the nerd world as Cara Dune.
on the what is it called on the Mandalorian?
On the Mandalorian.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mitzi. Well, we're running out of time here. Is there anything else you want to say before we let you go? Where to reach you at and all that good stuff?
Yeah. Where
you can follow me on Facebook on Mitzi Merry, or I'm on Twitter as Mitzi the Mauler Merry, and Instagram should just be under Mitzi Merry, I think. Right. So yeah, those are all my socials. But yeah, I also just give a shout out to Shamrock, BJJ, and Enid. So yeah. Got to do that in Outsiders, Combat Club in Edmond. Those are my two gyms I'm training out of with Julia Avila Shoemate. She's the Raging Panda. She's my MMA coach, and then Dylan Smith is my jiu-jitsu coach.
If you ever get like any upcoming fights or whatever, hit up Ash or drop a comment on them. We'll shoot the news
definitely
right off the bat.
Heck
you know what I mean? Get it all out there.
Heck yeah, I appreciate that, man.
All right, hell yeah.
And also,
definitely.
It might try to make my debut at Bare Knuckle. Who knows?
Oh,
this
shit.
girl's a little wild.
Shit.
Well, there you go.
I don't know about that. That shit's scary. I don't know about that. I don't think you should. Fuck that.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, all right, Mitzi. We really appreciate your time. Give a thumbs up if you know what's up, and give a thumbs down if you're down. Peace.
Punk's hit is a shit!